Everybody, I am going to tell you about a common problem with Kenmore dryers. This is what our Kenmore dryer looks like right here. Yep, you can see we are doing laundry. And for the longest time, what was happening is this edge right here of this lint trap wouldn't go down all the way, so it would stick up a little bit, and if we pushed on this edge over here would come up, and so for each wash we would have to, each dryer cycle, we would have to make sure this was pushed down all the way. Otherwise, if the clothes had a string, or sometimes the clothes itself would catch on this edge when it was sticking up, would catch on this edge, and then the clothes would get spun in a circle and it would ruin the clothes. We were having sweatshirts ruined, all sorts of ruined clothes. I called, of course, Sears customer support. They were not very helpful at all. In fact, they told me they didn't know of this as being a common problem. And they first sent me a new lint trap, which was the exact same lint trap, so I sent that back, and they insisted that this was not a common problem and had a repairman come out. So the repairman came out for $79, and when he walked in, he immediately said, this is a common problem. And he said, it's very easy to fix. Anybody can fix it. And he proceeded to fix it in 5 minutes, and unfortunately, his hands were tied. He had to charge me the $79, and I have a call in to Sears to see if they're going to refund my money. But I thought I'd make a quick video to show you what he did, because it was very easy. Basically, all he did is he loosened and took out 4 screws. So there's one right there. If you can, in that slot, there's a screw. There are 2 screws at the bottom, right next to each other, right there. Again, that's hard to see, I know. It's focusing all over the place. And then there's 1 screw over on this side. So again, 4 screws, 1 there, 2 at the bottom, and 1 over on this side. He just put those screws to the side. The entire lint trap then pulled out. He kind of had to jimmy it back and forth, and then he pulled this whole attachment out. And in the bottom of the trap, as he pulled it out, the bottom of the trap and this mechanism was all sorts of lint that had somehow gotten by the lint trap and was preventing the lint trap from going all the way down into the slot. So we cleaned that out. He said you could even possibly take the lint trap out and stick a kind of a vacuum with a narrow hose down in there and possibly suck that out as well. So those were the 2 fixes, which I was pleading for with Sears on the phone that they would not give me. They wouldn't acknowledge it was a common problem, but this repairman said, oh yeah, I see it all the time. And at any rate, you put those 4 screws back in. You don't have to touch these screws, anything out here. It's just those 4 on the inside. Clean things out. Put the screws back in. Make sure it's seated properly back in there. He had to wiggle it a little bit and kind of push on it to make sure it was seated properly. And then he just put in the 4 screws on the inside, and it was a done deal. So 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes of paperwork to pay for it, and I was all set. So that is this. I hope it helps you.